Hi guys. Hi from Kit too. Okay, so a lot of you have actually noticed. You're very eagle-eyed viewers, you guys. I tell you, I can't get nothing at all past you, can I? But yeah, a lot of you have noticed that my filming setup of late has changed yet again. And the reason for that being is I have come back downstairs. Also, you're going to be seeing quite a bit of this guy because he just lives in this room. Yeah, this side of the room is still a work in progress, so I'm not even going to go there. But yeah, there we are. I've kept it quite minimalistic this time, instead of piling everything in here. So I've just got some clear tubs there. That top one there's got A3 paper in it, A3 print paper in it, and A3 tracing paper that I use on my desk. That one underneath it has bits of material and stuff in. I love it because I can see it. Then that one and that one is empty, and there's actually two in that bottom one. There's one stacked in another one, and then an empty one. So there's actually 3 empty ones on the bottom. Excuse me. Then I have a little trolley cart there. It's not the metal Rascog carts or anything like that. Although I've noticed that B&M are actually selling them at the moment. They have been for a while. I've been a bit like that whether or not to get one. But then Mum gave me that. After I'd moved upstairs, Mum came across with that. She got it for the kitchen and it didn't quite work for what she wanted, so she gave it me, which was great. I brought my paper station, as I call it, down. When I bought that, when I first come in here last year, and I bought that, I bought it to go in that corner, and I bought it metallic and everything like that for that reason, you know, let the light in and that sort of thing, keep that corner bright and airy. Yeah, so it went back in that corner. The huge shelf that I used to have there before I went back upstairs, that ended up here in front of the window, and I had a big massive shelf there, like floor to ceiling rack. It's actually a shoe rack, but I used it for all sorts of storage. I've left that upstairs in the studio upstairs, which is now my office. The computer's up there, because obviously not everything, well, everything will come back down here, but I don't want everything back down here right now, so the overflow stuff is upstairs, out of the way still. Some stuff is still up there from when I was up there, and then other stuff that was down here that I never got around to taking up is now upstairs. So it's been a nightmare of a job, but I got there in the end. And then on top of there is now my die cutting station. I don't die cut on there, but that's where I store everything. So I've got my Gemini, which is my electric one. I've got my little Aldi one, which is a hand-cranked one. It's only a small one, like 3-inch wide. And then that box there that I made myself to keep everything in. It's got all my cutting plates in, and then embossing folders and dies. Obviously the extension. That is a dream catcher that I got from a crafty friend. Oh my goodness, how long ago? Wow, probably about 5-ish years ago, something like that. It was custom made for me, my business colours and everything. I love it. I used to have it up at the window in previous videos. When I've done room tours, you'll see it hanging from the window, but it used to get in the way of the blind, so this time I just popped it up there out of the way. And then up here there's a pizza pan. It's hanging on a screw that actually came through the piece of wood. When I screwed one of the plastic things back in, it poked through, and I thought, well, do you know what, it's up there, no one's going to catch themselves on it. So, but that was the perfect place to hang it, so I put that up there, and I use that when I'm dyeing papers. Some of them anyway, the smaller ones I can get on there. So yeah, I'm going to have to take this a bit slow. I am not well at the moment, as you can tell. Yeah, I am, yeah, awaiting official test results back, so keep your fingers crossed, guys. I'm not convinced myself, but had to do it just as a precaution. The kitten. This unit used to have my printer on in the living room, and then it got took upstairs and the top got replaced. Well, it didn't get replaced. The original top is actually still underneath it. It got painted. The shelves in it got painted. They were wood coloured and they got painted white, and then the top got put, that was a cut off from the desk that was installed upstairs. It's kitchen countertop, and that was a piece that was left over, so I was like, I want it on top there, please. So it got done, and yeah, which is great. When that was upstairs, it was used as a sewing machine station, but now instead of bringing my filing cabinet back down, which weighs a ton, I brought that down instead. And at the moment, it's just got, this is pretty cool actually, it's a foldable bin. Although I can't fold it out properly. Yeah, I can. There you go. It's like a foldable bin that you hang over your cupboard door, like in the kitchen or whatever. It's pretty cool. But I had a spare one. Yeah. Do you have a spare one? Yeah, this is a spare one. I did put one in the over the cupboard door in the kitchen, where I peel the potatoes and everything. And then this was a spare. It came in a pack of 2, so I sent it to my mum's, but it didn't work for what she wanted, so she sent it back. And originally I had it hung over the radiator there, which was great, but then obviously we're having them there, it doesn't work. So I now just have it hung over this basket here. That's all it is, it just hangs over. And that basket there is just full of rubbish, basically. It's all cardboard and Amazon packaging paper and all that sort of stuff that we keep. That sits in there. And that basket is an old freezer basket from years ago. We had a massive chest freezer and it came out of that, and for some reason I was like, I'm not throwing that away, it'll come in useful. Taylor had toys in it and it's got used for all sorts over the years, and then I claimed it back. In there, I'm not going through them, but in there, them are my project baskets. They're actually colour coded. 1 second. Okay, sorry guys, I just had to sit down on the floor. Yeah, they're actually colour coded. There's 2 grey ones, 2 pink ones and 2 white ones. They were upstairs. I had them upstairs on the wire racks that I had, and they used to sit side by side. So I had like 3 rows of them, 2 grey, 2 pink, 2 white, and they're what I kept my design team projects in. So the grey one was for Daisy at Tsunami Rose, the pink ones were for G. Kerr at Happiness in Crafting, and then the white ones were for Tracie Fox at Fox Creative. Used to be LoveJunk journals, but it's Tracie Fox Creative now. But I haven't been doing any design teams for a while, so the stuff is still in there. I just never got around to it, and then life took a different turn, so everything got put on hold. But I will revisit them at some point. And then these little baskets here, I'm obsessed with baskets. I have lots of them, not just these sort, but these like wicker type baskets. I love them. I've had this basket for as long as I can remember, since I was a little girl. I think I was about 10, maybe 11-year-old when I got this. It had soaps in it, handmade soaps in it. My grandma bought it me. It's got a bit of paint on it actually. But yeah, my grandma, my dad's mum, my little grandma, or little grandma as we called her, she bought it me. Like I said, it had handmade soap in it. So I've had that a long time. This has just got bits of scraps of material and ribbons and stuff in there. And then this was just some cheapy one that I bought from Wilkinson, no, Store 21 when that used to be open. Well, that were a long time ago. And again, it's just got some ribbons and stuff in, some, sorry, out of frame, some material ruffles that I've made myself. Yeah, it's got them in it. And then this bottom one here, sorry guys, I'm trying so hard not to sniffle and cough. It's got my sewing a few bits of my sewing scrap stuff in it. It's got my material scissors in and stuff. And then there's a few scrappy material bits in there. And then there's a bag here full of material scraps that my fabulous friend Tracie sent me. Not Tracie Fox, a different Tracie, one of my other friends. She sent them, and she sent my lovely friend Sue some as well. So, was it Tracie or was it Anne? Oh, I believe it was Tracie, but it could be Anne. I'm positive it's Tracie. I'm sorry guys, I'm sorry ladies if you're watching and I'm wrong, but like I said, it's either Tracie or Anne, but I'm really, yeah, I'm kind of wanting to say Tracie. Which I just, she'd been doing some projects of her own and then she had some scraps left over, so she sorted them out to send to myself and another friend, Sue, from when we first started doing the and Brooke tag challenge, the 52 tags handmade. Yeah, because although my friends Tracie and Anne aren't on in YouTube or anything, there was a few of us that actually took, you know, I was doing it and I posted in a group that we're all in together saying, look ladies, I know you're not on YouTube or anything like that and what have you, but I know you like sewing and, you know, I'm doing this challenge, do you want to play along? So in the group that we're in together, we did it, we posted our tags in there and, you know, kind of played along with each other in the group. So yeah, it was really good fun. Needless to say, they got a lot further than I did. But yeah, I just thought it was really nice that Tracie sent that stuff, or Anne, I'm sorry, I'm sure it was Tracie. Yeah, and the kitten's back to be nosy. Yep, so then here we have the sewing machine station, which is what it always was when I was down here before. Get down, Kit. Come on, dude. Good boy. This is what it was, or always was before. My sewing machine was always in this little gap before. That wasn't there though. This was a little wooden advent calendar that I got from the works. I think it was last year. It was last year or the year before. I think it was leading up to last year because I was going to do something about it for Vlogmas. Never got around to it. But I got this, and then when I moved upstairs I got it put on the wall. I got it screwed up to the wall and I put my threads in it. Excuse me. Put my sewing machine threads in it and tried as best I could to get them in some kind of rainbow order. But yeah, but they fit in there just nicely, and yeah, they kind of a little bit of a logic to it. So as you can see, there's a red one there and the one's facing backwards, which means there's only one thread in there. This one here, they stood upright, which means there's another thread at the back of it, so there's 3 in it. Yeah, so kind of, if they're leaning backwards, if they're leaning backwards like that, there's only one, like the big thread and a little one. If they're stood upright, it means there's a big one and 2 little ones. Anyway, makes sense to me. But them's all my sewing machine threads. That's not all I've got. I've got a load more, but them are all the coloured ones that I use. That's my what is it? U10 sewing machine. That is Ariel. I forgot what Taylor called her. Ariel. And then there's Melody, the little one. We name everything. There's the little one. This here that you can see, if I just pull the sewing machine a little bit, it is for holding huge bobbins of thread. I use that for this machine. I don't use small bobbins that often now. I use the big ones. And yeah, so they're all hooked over there. So instead of putting it on there, I just take it from there and thread it through and use it that way. Mum gave me them, and I've got quite a few more big bobbins upstairs. That's just a metal dish. It was used to put candles and stuff in the front room, but then I nicked it and put it in here, and I just have it sat there to the side of me now, and I put my scraps in when I'm cutting and stuff. Let's go up. My arms are aching. In fact, let's go across, because I can do upwards quite quickly. Okay, so there's my desk tripod, which I've been using since being upstairs, which is great. When I moved back down here, if you can see on the shelf, there's 2 lines there and there's 2 lines there. And when I had my old tripod on here, when I was down here before, I had it clipped at the top and it come down there, and then it hung down so that I was in the right position. But for some reason, although I could get the tripod to line up there, facing downwards, I couldn't get it right. Everything were all lopsided and wonky, which was weird. So I've gone back to using this. I like this one. I have my rulers and my bone folder and stuff hung up on a hook there. The cat has taken over my chair. Let's just move him out of the way. Come on, move, Kit Kat. And then this is pretty much set out. The desk side of it is pretty much set out exactly how it used to be. A few changes there, but regards to there, that way, and this, it's exactly the same. This is that advent calendar that I got before for Vlogmas and turned into crafting storage afterwards. The only difference now to when I was down here before is the main desk isn't black. The main desk is white. That used to be black like that before, but what I did were, a few months ago, this desk here and all this, the side and all the shelving and everything got taken down and took completely away, so the only thing left was that and that desk there, and I had my computer there in the corner, but it was like a complete dead zone for the internet. It just would not work. It drove me insane. And I vaguely remember years ago when Taylor was in here, we put his desk in that corner there and he complained non-stop about his internet. So we moved him over to in front of the window and everything was fine. I thought, well, I'm not doing that down here. So I moved the computer upstairs, thinking if I move upstairs, the computer will be nearer to the router, which is in the bedroom. And that should hopefully solve everything. And touch wood. Ow! Little monster. Sorry, the cat just fanged me. Yeah, touch wood, it's worked, so that's great. So upstairs, the upstairs studio is now kind of like overflow studio stuff stroke my office, because the computer's up there, the printer's up there and everything. So yeah, and the reason that's white now instead of black is before I came to put it all back together, dead proud of myself because I did it all myself. When I took everything down, I kept everything. I kept all the battening and everything on the walls, all the battening on the sides of everything. I kept all the screws, the plastic connectors, everything. Because I knew at some point I'd probably change my mind and want to put it all back up. And I did. So, better the devil you know. But what I did with that were, I bought some sticky vinyl. And yeah, before I put it on, I covered it in sticky vinyl, and yeah, I made it so that it overlapped front and back and on the sides too. And this did not like sticking to this wood at all. It kept trying to come apart, so I Fabri-tacked it. I swear to God, no word of a lie, I used my Fabri-tack to glue it down and it worked a great treat. It was amazing. So there you go, guys. If you ever want to use the sticky vinyl for anything, then, you know, if it's not sticking properly, Fabri-tack it. Now, there are bumps and bubbles and all sorts in this, and that's fine by me because there were bumps and bubbles in the desk anyway. The desks are never, you know, these desks were never perfectly smooth anyway, because of the paint and stuff, so I'm not bothered about that. You can't see it anyway. It doesn't affect how I'm working or anything like that, so that's fine. The reason I did that white is because it was white upstairs. As I said, I had this countertop upstairs. You've seen it in other videos anyway. and I really liked it, but unfortunately they didn't have that pattern in this stuff, so I just went with that. But yeah, so, and I'm liking how much brighter it is, but the camera's not liking it much at the moment. So I may, I'm doing like I did upstairs, and I'm using my green piece paper with some tracing paper over the top to stop the glare from the lights, but it's not liking it, so I may at some point actually potentially go back, just trying to get it out, potentially go back to using my pink and blue board, which I used to use down here before, you know, just so that the camera's not fighting with all the bright white light. Anyway, yeah, so that's all the same. My pen tub and everything's set out exactly the same. That's, you know, I've just mounted that little cutting board there on the wall, just with 2 screws, one for it to sit on and that one to stop it from falling off that way. But yeah, so, and then just stuff. Paper holder that's got accessories in it, my little scoreboard, my crocodile, got some stamping blocks there, some sticky grid sheets, my paper envelope cutting board, and then at the back of there is my stamping platform, my glasses, which I need to use more often. Yeah, and then this white thing here is the top of this. This is one that I bought for upstairs. I had a right tiny space between the desk upstairs and that silver paper station upstairs, and that fit absolutely perfectly. It's got all my inks on the top, and then it's got stamps there, and then the rest of it's just material stuff, bits of scrappy lace and stuff like that, material, scissors and stuff. But it's absolutely brilliant, and I love that I can get all my inks on it, and my daubers. Yeah, so it's great, but with that on it, it was too tall to go under the desk. Now, I don't have it under there actually. What I've done is, because I don't use them yet, there's stuff in them I need to sort through, so what I've done with this is I've actually just sat it right there in front of it, so that I don't have to keep pulling it out to get to what's in it. It's just there all the time. So I just need to swivel my chair and grab everything. There's some boxes under there. They are just cardboard packing boxes. The bottom one has 12 by 12 scrapbooking cardstock paper pads in. There's about 20 in there, 20 pads in there. It weighs a ton. Luckily it's wood flooring, I can slide it. The one above it, again, nothing. It's just full of nothing but Amazon packaging paper and stuff like that. Table, the little table there with my bin on it. Here we have my big cutting board. Here we have some spotlights, because strip lights, because I'm a complete idiot, and without showing you the actual strip lights, they are under the desk, under the shelf, like so. I'll show you there, because it's, yeah, and they're not the original ones. The original ones I did pull off when I took everything down. Well, actually, no, I didn't. I left them on, and then I knew which shelf it were. But I did have to pull them off to put some new ones up, because I'd broken the connection. So I bought some new, well, I didn't buy new ones. I had some upstairs that didn't work upstairs. It didn't work for what I wanted it to upstairs. So I put them up in the same way that I put the other ones up. Sorry for the shaking, guys. Yeah, I put them up like I did the other ones, just, you know, from there to there and back again, all the way along until the full 5 metre. Yep, 5 metres. Until 5 metres were done, which gives me all the natural light I need down on the desk. And it was great, no problem. Everything's fine and dandy. And then stupid me, when I came to use this tripod, I very stupidly thought it were a good idea to put it on here and see. So of course, yeah, it's like a clamp thing. So without thinking, I put it on here, clamped it up, and of course, yeah, broke the connection. So they don't actually all work. I mean, it is quite bright enough actually, but I bought some more. So I'll take them down and I'll string them up when I'm feeling a bit better. Yeah, so there's my tags, my handmade tags. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Is that 8? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, I got to week 8. That's not bad. I will be carrying on with that. But yeah, they're just up there for sure. Like that. Yeah, so I've got my favourite lace and ribbon. Well, ribbon, not lace. Oh, I can't speak. My favourite trims. It is lace actually, but these are just 2 little storage boxes that actually have the wooden numbers in that I got the other day from B&M Bargain. No, not B&M Bargains. The Works. So there's the wooden numbers, and then that's the wooden butterflies and floral embellishments. They're in there, and then that just sits on top of there so I can get to them. Sewing stuff, that's got plastic clips in, the plastic sewing clips that everybody's using. It actually came in that little tub, which is awesome. And then here we have a little array of all sorts of stuff. Eyelets. This is the reference journal that we're going to be playing with. Them I'll go through in a different time. Little journal that I made for my Globland collaboration. Then we've got material scissors, fabric scissors, basket there with project stuff in, basket there with material in it, and my calico. Love my calico. This is just some scrappy bits of other stuff, material. Some calico, some burlap, some cotton, an old pillowcase, that sort of stuff. And then we've got knick-knacky stuff here. So they're empty at the moment. That's got my vellum stickers in it. They're in tubs stacked in each other, but that's got vellum stickers in it. You've seen me using them. Then we've got these little square tubs here. I love them. They now actually match the vinyl. Then I've got paper clips in there. At the back of there, there's lobster claw clasp stuff. There's buttons in that one. Wooden pegs in that one. Tiny ones. And then there's some more trim in there. I like that one. Nice frilly trim in there. That's got washi tape in. That's a bag of dried leaves. Then I've got my Tracie labels. Every one of them tins has my Tracie labels in, and then that's got my embellishments in that I made for a design team project for G Kerr. I love that one. That's also one of G's boxes. She gives a template to do that, which is awesome. Sorry guys. Yeah, so that's that. And then again, like I said, we've got that with the drawers behind, some plastic drawers there, some more plastic drawers there. That has got my beading stuff on and my heat gun, but that's got beading stuff on. That tub there has got more lace and trims and stuff in it. Thank you, Ken. Then we've got some greaseproof paper there and some Tim Holtz tissue paper. My iron, and then a set of plastic drawers there that's full of all sorts, and some beads and stuff in there. That hat box there has got more lace and ribbons and trims in. Then we've got my teddy with the logo on, and then we've got some vintage thread there. It's weird, is that it's too fragile to put through the sewing machine, but yeah. It snaps very easily, but it's just so cool. I picked it up on holiday a couple of years ago. Seeing as we're up here, we'll go to the top. I've left the top shelf as a decorative shelf, and all the journals up there that I've bought. A couple that I've made myself from that one, and then 3 there made myself. The rest of them I bought, or I won, or I got sent. Yeah, and then I made that one myself. That was a project for Daisy at Tsunami Rose. So was that one. Them 3 there were projects for GK, Happiness in Crafting. That card there was made from my lovely friend Michelle. I love that card. It's like one of my favourite papers from Antique Papery anyway, but I love that, really love that card. So that's took pride of place. And them 3 there are mine. Oh my goodness. Hi guys, back. Okay, so them 3 journals there are mine. That purple one at the back is a massive one. Well, it's a small sized one, but it's massive. I think there's about 5 or 6 signatures in that. That's like a proper junky journal, that one. And then that's actually a grey pouch that I made last year, and it's got last year's December daily in it. And then that's an empty tub there. And then these, I got that one in the corner, and these I got for upstairs. And apart from this end one here, they're all empty. That end one there just has some storage pouches and stuff in, empty ones. And then we get to the bookshelf, and this is where the amazing thing comes in when you've got a YouTube channel. Because I love how my bookshelf used to be, so I referred back to one of my room tour videos, studio tour videos after I'd done down here, and put my books back in the exact order that they used to be in, going by my video. So yeah, they are in exactly the same place, which is awesome. And of course I had to bring down my trophy. I don't know if you can see it. Well, you can see the trophy, but I don't know if you can read it. That's from when I reached my 1,000 subscribers, and I bought myself a trophy, and that was on the 26th of August last year. A candle from one of the grandchildren. Yeah, and then of course the smiley tubs had to come back. They had to come back, and they're in exactly the same order as well, because I just love walking in here and seeing them. They make me smile every time I come in. Yeah, so, and then we've got baskets, more baskets. That's got a bit of a mismatch of everything in it, but in the back, if you can see this plastic thing here, it's got mixed threads and stuff in, silks, cross-stitching silks that Mum gave me. This basket here, see what I mean about having an obsession for baskets? This basket here is full of these little, like I said, pouches, pencil cases, pouches, whatever, and they've got ephemera in. They've also got ephemera from kits in, so like you see me pull from them occasionally when I've been doing stuff for GK, or I've been using G's words and phrases, and keep all them in there. I've got die cut butterflies and all sorts of stuff in them. Some of Tracie's stuff's in them. There's all sorts in them, and I use them a lot. And then them 2 baskets there, I've never actually got around to going through them with you guys on camera. They're full of nothing but material scraps that I got from 2 excuse me, I got from 2 of my crafty friends from a good few years ago. They both used to make, well, I say used to, one of them still does. They used to make children's clothing and other stuff, and it was like, I just got into the junk journaling scene and everything, and then I was like, guys, if you've got any scraps, leftovers or anything, can you please bundle them up instead of throwing them away? Can you please bundle them up and send some to me, and I'll pay for postage? Yeah, so I ended up with 2 baskets full of stuff. These are my new little suitcase boxes. They stack inside each other, but they're empty at the moment. I only got them last week, and they're empty at the moment. It won't take long to fill them. Then that white basket there has got, again, you can just see a little bag there, that's ribbons and everything in there, and then some more material scraps and stuff. Oh my god, my arm is gonna drop off. And then I've got clear tubs and stuff here. These are freezer trays, fridge stroke. Well, they're actually fridge organisers. They're quite cool actually, and they stack on top of each other. They were £1.50 each from B&M Bargains. So I got quite a few of them. And as you can see, I love that you can see through them. They've got trims and ribbons and all sorts in them. That one's got cheesecloth and bows and some more ribbon and stuff in. Then I've got a plastic tub there with more threads and stuff in. That's an empty box there on top. That had a necklace in that I got from my lovely friend Michelle. But I kept the box because it's pretty. Then I've got some tubs there. That's got stamped material in it that I've done in previous videos with you guys. That one there has tea cards in it. If they're empty, that box is empty, and that's a little book full of music. It's actually a music dictionary, but it's a tiny little book. And if I move them out of the way, I've got more tubs there with more sewing stuff in, empty tubs and sewing stuff, and that has got a ton of Tracie Fox ephemera in from a couple of her kits that I need to sort it through. You probably saw me using that in one of my other videos not long since, when I was finishing off some tags of hers that I did with her kits, and yeah, there's loads. It's all mixed up. And then we have another big basket here that's got a couple of smaller baskets in. There's 3 altogether stacked inside each other, and that's got ephemera in it that's already made up. I just don't know where to put it all yet. And then I have a plastic wallet here full of stencils. And I've popped that there so I can see it. It pops out peeping at me so I can see it. And that is it, guys. As I said, apart from what's behind me. But yeah, so that's it. There we go. So yeah, I'm back downstairs and it's working fairly well. And since coming back down, the mojo's come back. I've actually wanted to come and film. I mean, for me now, I'm riddled with a cold and potentially the other thing. I've no sense of taste, I've no sense of smell. Feel like doo-doo. I've had a temperature up in the hundreds for 4.5 days. Yeah, how I'm functioning, I do not know. I seriously do not know. But yeah, as I said, I'm waiting for official test results. But I still want to film. I still want to come and craft. Okay, I will show you this side because this has changed since I was down here before. Before, when I was down here, I had a big unit here. And that black countertop was on top of it. Now that unit is in the hallway with a dryer sat on top of it. It's in the hallway under the stairs with a dryer sat on top of it. So I brought 2 sets of plastic drawers down from upstairs. Them tubs there, they have got stuff in relating, like that's all my dyed papers, coffee dyed paper, well, tea dyed papers and painted papers from when I did jelly printing. That is all my tea dyeing stuff, printed paper and doily, plastic tablecloths and that sort of thing. Some printed paper there. That actually needs to go back upstairs. I just brought it down for a video I was doing to show which paper I printed on. This box here actually needs emptying. That's got Amazon packaging and paper and yeah, stuff, cardboard in and stuff. Yeah, them canvases need to be moved. And then under this is actually a little computer desk that I bought for my computer when it were down here. The computer was too big for it. Well, the computer monitor was too big for it, and I couldn't get my chair under it because the chair I was using down here had arms on it. I couldn't get it underneath it. It was really frustrating. But yeah, so that's now being used to put that on top of. I've got my A3 trimmer there. That's just got some bits and bats in. Actually, a lot of techie admin stuff in there. Receipts and invoices and stuff. And then these predominantly have beads in, although there is lace in these. There is laces, oh my gosh, there is laces and ribbons in them. I'm not going to go through them because there's still personal stuff in them. And then here I've just got my tape dispenser. I'm not sure why that's on there. But then we have the cat toys. A little box there with some Amazon paper in, because the kitten absolutely loves playing with it, playing in boxes and playing with Amazon paper. And then we have a cat scratcher there, and then that is a footstool that has been used as a stepping stool for a long time, because I can't reach anything on the top shelves in the cupboards in the kitchen, which the kitchen's there. So yeah, sometimes I drag that over and put it under the desk and have something to put my feet on, but the rest of the time it stays there. The kitten curls up on it sometimes. But yeah, and that's it, guys. Like I said, we are there. That shelf's never been moved. That's always been there. That stuff hasn't always been on it, but that shelf has always been there. And then all this up here is a mess. But this was from my stamping days, sort of thing. So a lot of that is going to stay there. I'm not messing with it. Yeah, and there you go. So that's where we're at, guys. Like I said, I am back downstairs. I am more than happy. Oops. I am more than happy with how everything went back together. Like I said, considering I did it myself. Taylor helped. Taylor helped. But I did quite a lot of it myself. The bottom desk side of things I did myself. Even putting that little piece back in there. I managed to get the bottom shelf on, and then I needed Taylor's help to get that side panel on because it's massive. And then between us we put the shelves back up. It's not perfect, it's a little bit lopsided because the wood was in the shed and of course it warped a little bit. We brought it in, me and Mum brought it in and left it in the house for about 3 days to dry out. Left it here in this room for about 3 days to dry out before I actually got around to putting it up. But yeah, so I mean it did straighten out a little bit, but it is a little bit warped. But it's fine. It's all back up exactly how it were. So, and it's sturdy enough. I mean, somebody said in one of the groups, I know they were only being helpful, but somebody said in one of the groups, you know, them little supports there in between these don't look very thick. Maybe get some bigger ones, thicker ones in there and whatever. You don't want it collapsing on your head. But you guys that have been with me for a while know that this desk and these shelves have been up for, although I only moved in here officially last year, early 2020, this desk and them shelves have been up about 3, maybe 4 years with all my stuff on it, and nothing's ever come down. So I mean, never say never. And I have added a block of wood in there to prop that shelf up, because that shelf really was bowing. And then I added that didn't used to be there. That board wasn't there before. There was nothing at all connecting them two shelves before, but I put that board there to help because the top one was bowing as well. Although they stayed up all the time. Stupid me, put a bit heavier stuff on than I should have done, and yeah, whoopsie. But I'm happy enough with it now. There's nothing really heavy in any of them, and I've minimalised what I used to have down here, so yeah, I'm happy. And yeah, so and the kitten is fast asleep, or was. Hi, dude. I'm gonna say hello. Hey. No, don't eat me. Say hi. Okay, eat me then. Good boy. Yeah, should have left him while he were quiet. But yeah, so there we are, guys. As I said, I'm back. I need to put my lights up. But other than that, normal service is hopefully resuming a little bit more than it was before. As I said, since coming back down, coming back down here, the motivation and the mojo is returning, so that's a good thing. Apart from moving the computer upstairs, the reason I came back down here is because I was getting really frustrated when I was upstairs working, because I kept backing myself into a tiny space, because upstairs is not as big as down here. And yeah, I kept backing myself into a tiny space and where I was working, and I used to get really frustrated. So yeah, down here is not too bad. But yeah, so I'm really chuffed. I love them tubs. But yeah, so I'm gonna love you and leave you guys, because my voice is ready for giving out on me now. Also, my legs are getting shaky, and I managed a hot chocolate this morning. It was mint flavoured options hot chocolate. I couldn't taste it. Well, I couldn't. I couldn't taste the mint, but I could feel the tingle that mint, you know, when you're drinking mint chocolate. If you drink mint chocolate, or when you eat mints, you get that little tingle in your mouth, menthol tingle. I got the tingle, like in my mouth and in my throat when I swallowed it, which is good. But it didn't taste like mint, but it didn't taste bad. I don't put sugar in the hot chocolate anyway. It's sweet enough, but it tasted a little bit of chocolate. I just couldn't taste the mint. So to me, it was just like having a normal hot chocolate without the mint in it, which is a good sign, I guess, because I could taste something. Yeah, so my first warm drink in 4 days. That's not too bad. I haven't been able to drink coffee or anything. I've just been drinking water. I've had a few sips of warm water, but I can't drink warm water too much because that makes me sick. Thankfully, touch wood, being sick and feeling sick is one thing I haven't had yet, which is a bit of a saving grace with me, because I don't do well being ill. It's no secret. All my family will tell you, I don't do well being ill. I am such a baby. I can cope fine when anybody else is ill. I run around and, you know, do the usual caring, you know, caretaker side of things, if you will, like, yeah, clean the sick buckets, that sort of stuff, no problem. But when I'm ill myself, oh gosh, I am such a child, such a baby. I just lie in bed and cry, I want my mummy. But I haven't had much choice to wallow in self-pity because of being on my own with Taylor. So I've got up every morning, regardless of how I felt. Twice I've come downstairs on my bum, and practically crawled into the kitchen. I've made his lunch for school, and then I've just collapsed on the settee, shouted of him like, Taylor, it's time to come down. Best I could. Like, Taylor. He's like, yeah, Mom, I can hear you. It's time to get up. Sort of thing, because my voice has been going. Like, I'm coming. So he's come down, and I've just been collapsed on settee, and then he's like, don't get up, Mom, I can go myself. And like I said, he's only across the road now, so that's not too bad. But yeah, he's been obsessed with taking my temperature. Last night, it's Friday today. Don't ask me date, I've no idea. Last night he actually sent me to bed at about 5 o'clock, and then he escorted me up as well to make sure that I went and got in bed and didn't go upstairs and do something else. And then took my temperature. Like I said, he's obsessed with taking my temperature at the moment. But yeah, so ouch, there has been men's here. But yeah, speaking of whom, not the bin men, Taylor, he should be home in about an hour or so. He finishes early on Fridays, so yeah, he should be home in about an hour. So I'm gonna wrap this video up now, guys, and I will love you and leave you. So yeah, take care, guys, stay safe. Thank you so much for watching. I'll speak to you all again soon. So from me and Kit Kat, hey baby, thanks for watching, guys. Bye.